Network of awareness makes your brain coherent. One of the fastest growing podcasts. You can hear it 24/7. Got listeners out in London, informationalists in Paris. The echo spreading out, no parrot. Just dissect, digest, and share it. The righteous rhymes hit the spirit. Click 90 times, it won't perish. Cause y'all's the mind ain't no fairy tale like the belly our parents. It's time to rise, don't get weary. United minds, it's apparent. Download every single errand, but most ain't fit to catch it, even if they were Larry. Interviews, the interludes, they enter you, taking you on a journey like no other. It places you in a state of awareness. It's your fault if you hate the truth, cause Yahweh been Yahweh's on his way, my brother. Better change your views. All praise, yeah.
Hello, positive people. You are now tuned in to the Network of Awareness podcast radio station, giving you in-depth information on society and culture in America and abroad, with messages of inspiration, with keen insights, reputable interviews, and much more. So now, without further ado, your host of the Network of Awareness podcast, Aura, the informationalist.
Yes, peace and greetings, people. This is Or the Informationalist, and you're now tuned in to the Network of Awareness. Happy Most High Monday to you, and we have a great show. This is episode 26 of season 4. HipSlop, Stop the Nonsense. We're going to discuss hip-hop music of today and how it's leading the youth astray. And today, Monday, June 20th, is supposedly a national holiday that they call Juneteenth. But, as we all know, holidays are really hella days, and real holy days are masqueraded. But today we got a great show because we're going to talk about this hip-hop industry of today and how it's came to be what it is. You see, that was a little play on Stop the Violence in hip-hop. Well, I say, forget about Stop the Violence. It's HipSlop. Stop the nonsense. We're going to discuss some other current events that have recently transpired here in the United Shenanigans or Serpents of America. Like how they're trying to bring back gun reform by having a very strong series of mass shootings. But this is the United Shenanigans of America, people, and we're going to discuss it today on the Network of Awareness. And we're broadcasting out of the Tampa Bay area here in Florida. It's approximately 7:12 p.m. So let's get it poppin', my friends.
tuned in to the network of awareness.
In the mix. 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 In the mix.
All right. Welcome, brothers and sisters, people from around the world. Welcome to the Network of Awareness, Season 4, Episode 26. So, people, I hope everybody had a peaceful weekend. And I also hope that everybody is being very circumspect during this summer season. Because as you all know, summertime is a very hot time. And whenever there are hot, or should I say hot, I was going to say hot. Whenever there's hot temperatures, people tend to be a little funny in their behavior. So very much be aware and prepared. But also, I want to say that I had an opportunity to see, I said I wasn't going to do shows like this. Let me just say that outright. I wasn't going to do shows like this. Why? And I'll tell you why. Because I really don't like to talk about so-called celebrities or even the hip-hop industry, because we know what it is. But I'm going to take a little different perspective on the music industry today, because I'm still going to talk about the essence of it. But I'm not going to talk about too much about how these people have sold their souls and all that, because many of us know what that is by now. But I'm going to take a different look at what I experienced in just a couple of days of watching the Revolt channel. I skimmed across it because from time to time, I try to find different things that are relevant to society today and how America is functioning. When I came across the Revolt channel, I know that Puff Daddy, Sean Combs owns that network with other people. But what caught my eye, I guess, was the fact that I started seeing all these series of hip hop videos. Just like when I was growing up watching Video Music Box. And then, of course, the evolution of MTV. Because remember, at one time, MTV didn't even want to show a black face on their TV channel or play their music for that matter. But as I was watching this as a man who grew up listening to music that comes from this music comes from, which is the source of what I grew up with in the Bronx, and started out breakdancing and eventually started writing poetry that eventually evolved into writing lyrics and actually becoming a hip hop lyricist, artist, MC, which present day I am that. I'm just more evolved in the essence of what true hip hop means, to where now all my lyrics that were spiritual when I was in my 20s has more direction and purpose with the spirit and essence in which I spit in today. And I think that all artists should evolve in getting to know themselves better and being connected to something better. Unfortunately, we're in a time right now where most people, especially when it comes to the younger generations, are not having an opportunity to connect to their higher self because they're being bombarded with a lot of low-level energy and perception that they have to perceive from, if that makes any sense. And I hope I'm not getting too deep, but when I saw this, it didn't piss me off like it normally would. The only video that pissed me off is just because I really can't stand looking at him and his music is Lil Wayne. But besides that, just looking, I saw in modern day music with a lot of these artists that there is a skill set there. There's a skill set there. And a lot of the beats I notice are very low vibrational 808 type of drum beats, which is really enticing or activating the lower chakras, which is why a lot of people get sexual when they listen to this type of music. It's like they automatically get horny. You know what I mean? It's like almost like a trigger, like a snap of the finger. No different than what hypnotists do on the hip, putting somebody under hypnosis. But what I saw was, in my opinion, right? This is coming from all the informationalists. I'm saying this to you as an MC. I saw such a lack of creativity. I saw such a lack in not delivery. Delivery was pretty good, but the whole essence and looking at it with my spiritual eye, I saw the lack of everything that is benevolent. I saw the lack of the Most High in this music. And not that I have a connection to dark forces, but I can recognize a dark force when I see it. And every single song had that energy to it for some reason, even when it was talking about something positive. What's interesting even more, looking at it from somebody who also knows how to put music together, one of the first things that came to mind, actually wasn't one of the first things that came to mind. It actually came to mind after 20 minutes because I got to see some R&B type of flow. It was like hip hop R&B type of collaboration or mixture. I forgot the name of the artist. He had like blondish, he had like a little small blonde fro. And the brother had like he was on a phone in a car. And it was so corny. But what it brought me back to was that me growing up, and I'm watching Video Music Box, there's a lot of the brothers and sisters that was doing music back in the days. It had substance to it. It had creativity. It had what people would call swag and attractiveness and attitude. And it was just on a different level. Now, I'm not saying that all the music back in the day was positive, because a lot of that shit was negative that I grew up on. Let's not get it twisted. But now it's not only just negative, but it lacks substance. And I felt like this is the thing I came to, the realization. Growing up on radio and listening to all the ill artists that would get on radio shows like Stretch Armstrong. Stretch Armstrong and Papito were like the pinnacle of underground, putting some of the illest MCs of their time out back to back to back. And if you never heard of Stretch Armstrong, you need to listen to some of those old DJ recordings in their studio in I think in the Bronx. And I'm telling you, it was either Bronx or Manhattan where they were stationed at. And just the music that was coming out of there, especially when Wu-Tang, because I got introduced to Wu-Tang before everybody because I got their music from one of their peoples. So I was listening to Method Man way before people in the Bronx. I was putting people on in the Bronx to listen to it when I went to camp to work. And there was a lot of people. I was 14 or 13 at the time. I can't remember. It was one of those ages. But the music that they were playing back in the days was all fire, man. It had substance. It had all the elements of what good lyricism is. And they were sharing an experience. And I felt like when I compared to how I was growing up listening to the music and the essence that music carried with it, I looked at all of these videos and they were coming out back to back to back. Because I noticed that what Puffy's done is he's created this channel where it's just like MTV, pretty much. I mean, I don't see no difference in it. It's just coming from whatever they got from Revolt. They got some people that got radio podcast shows on there. I think Drink Champs are with them now too. So I remember when Nori and Puff said they were going to do that. But I noticed a lack of just substance. And I said to myself, if producers and A&Rs or people in the music industry were getting that type of footage and those type of MCs back in the days when we had very lyrical MCs by the dozens, I feel like these would have been the rejects. Everything you see now would have been rejected. It would have been like, look at this bullshit. Look at this fucking clown. Look at this dude with his pants sagging, looking all, gay. Then I saw the Post Malone video, and it was just something weird about that video. Even the color schemes, too, was very kind of like, it looked very well organized. It looked like a ritual, to be honest with you, but a modern day retro ritual type of shit. Real sneaky, but I noticed that the color schemes were very deliberate. I forgot the video, but he's got some dude that's dressed in a blue coat with some pants. He's kind of short and got glasses on. And that reminds me too, is that I'm noticing that there's a lot of synthesized voice going on. Real synthesized voice, whatever they're doing, they jacking their voices up, something awful. I can understand when you're in the studio and you want to clean up some vocals, but it's become so common to jack up the vocals with the tunes. And what I'm getting to, brothers and sisters, and the purpose of this show is that we can't engage in this nonsense. We can't do it because we got to set an example, man. Like, can't allow these kids to think that this is cool. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying that you should go out there and protest like they did back in the days, right? Remember that? Some of you, when they're back in the 90s, they were protesting against groups like, but you see, now that I think about it, as I'm talking about it, some of the groups that they were protesting is the very reason why we're here at this point right now. Groups like NWA, groups like 2 Live Crew, right? They're from out, I think, in Miami. But they're the ones that really sexualized hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And turned it into some booty shaking shit. And look at where we're at now with the twerking. Twerking was very popular back in the early 90s. They didn't call it that. They call it, shake what your mama gave you type shit. I want to rock. All that shit. The Doodle Brown. I remember the Doodle Brown song used to get people amped up. The women used to go crazy over that song. But the hip hop of today, brothers and sisters, is something. It's some other shit. It's some other worldly shit. That's what I was experiencing. I'm like, and it just seems like as long as you got some type of catchy hook to go with the catchy beat, the video could pretty much be fucking anything. Literally. And that's what I saw. I saw a lot of anything. Whatever goes, goes. There was only one video that I thought was pretty cool that brought me back to how I used to watch videos growing up. And I think it was a song that featured French Montana and some other dude. And the beat was pretty good. The rhymes had a good delivery scheme, but it still had that dark energy. You know what I'm saying? And when you know what these people are about, when you know that they'll sacrifice their own mother just to get ahead, it's obviously we're not going to gravitate to it, but we have to be aware of what's happening. I'm glad that I got to see these series of videos for the past half an hour when I was watching it today. And I didn't feel like I was wasting my time because I was really getting a great understanding of what these people that are like my daughter's age and younger and some that are older and even people my age. Let's just keep it real, man. You got some 40-something-year-olds that are listening to this type of shit. And it's like the energy that it conveys is very egoic, but very empty. Everything is very kind of like status quo. That's what I felt like. I felt like, would I be able to have sex to one of these songs? Even the ones that are considered R&B. And I was like, hell no. Who the fuck want to fuck to that shit? The energy levels to this music is very distorted. And that's the best word I could come up with. I've used it a lot in reference to this type of music, but it is the best reference. It is distorted. It is an energy that is unsettling. It is all over the place. It's very erratic. And it lacks a high level of creativity. Because I know people are saying, well, they're creating songs. They're writing hooks. They got beats. Yes, there is a creativity there. But even when I was watching, what's his name? Triple X Extension or Extension or whatever the fuck his name is. That video was whack. That shit was garbage. And I don't care if he had a low budget or whatever the fuck he had. That shit was not impactful. And I only say those words because I watched the fucking documentary before I actually watched the video. So I'm thinking about how they were describing how epic and, groundbreaking this video was. And I was like, how? Why? Where? In what fucking planet? And I'm talking from the perspective of just common sense. Well, you're older. You know what I'm saying? If my daughter was here, who's another hater, because, my daughter grew up to be a hater for some reason. It was bad to watch, but she had her moments, you know what I'm saying? But when your children are raised by certain other people and they got certain energy about them, they're going to be what they are. And I noticed that the music, once my daughter hit about 11 or 12 years old, daughter started gravitating to very sexualized music. So when we would get in my car and she said, Dad, can I put this station on? I remember stopping it after 3 songs. And I gave her the benefit of the doubt because I just wanted to keep listening. I said, hold on a second. I said, let me ask you a question. What was every song primary theme throughout every song that we just heard? And she was like, I don't know, right? Because of course that's the fucking primary answer when you already know what the answer is, but you want to play stupid answer. I got a lot of that in my daughter's teens. And I was like, well, since you don't know, I'm going to tell you. I was like, sex, right? And I started breaking down some of the verses that I memorized. So I was like, if you listen to only this 12, 6, 4 hours a day, I was like, then what are you going to be thinking about? And she was like, sex, I guess. I was like, yeah. Bing, bing. Like, I'm looking at these videos and check this out. I didn't even see any videos that were highly sexualized. The videos now, they're very egoic, materialistic, and just real low-level energy shit. Just let's just keep it simple, some real demonic Satan shit. They may not be doing rituals every time, but it's the look in their eye. It's the words that they're using, and it's the message that they're sending. And when I started really digging down deep into kind of just analyzing it as I'm experiencing, I'm like, there is no nucleus to this. This is coming from emptiness. So you feel empty after you finish watching it. So you got a lot of kids that are going through that same experience, but to them, they don't see it that way. Even though it's happening that way, they're thinking that they're eating something. It's almost like an illusion. They think they're eating a sandwich that has vitamins and minerals or whatever in it and is going to give them some form of nutrition, but that sandwich is filled with nothing but low-level energy or nothing. And that's what I got to see from that shit. It was horrible, man. And I'm saying this passionately because I come from an upbringing that was heavily influenced by music, and it was all genres, but one that was there was two that were very impactful where I was constantly vibing with it, and that was the music from Motown, which was primarily from the 50s, some 40s and some 60s. And then there was that music, there was hip hop from its inception. So growing up with that, seeing what it is now, I'm very disappointed because it's not just lacking in the essence of, because remember, hip hop is not just rhyming, right? People, there's other elements. Some people say there's 5 elements. Some people say there's 7. Some people say there's 10, whatever. But there's elements. There's the core elements, which is the breakdancing, the DJing, the beatboxing, the graffiti, and the rhyming, the MCing. That's your core of what hip hop is. And I got to experience all those elements in multiple sittings, in different parks, in different community centers, basketball courts, or whatever it was. I got to experience a lot of those elements all at once. And the energy that you would get, like, let's say, for example, remember I was talking about it not too long ago, it was several months back, where I talked about that verse that Lauryn Hill did on Nas's album. She killed it. But the moment I started hearing it, there's like I call it the adrenaline. What I call it is goosebump adrenaline music, where it's like the moment she started spitting, I must have heard 1.5 to 2 bars. And I was already like, oh shit. You know what I mean? I had that feeling. I don't get that feeling from this type of music. And let me tell you, brothers and sisters, I try to break all judgment, all criticism, everything. I try to clear my mind and just embrace the experience of this fucking whack ass music. And for some reason, I can't connect to this shit. Even when it has a catchy beat. Just can't do it, man. So let's take a brief intermission, and I'll be back. We got episode 26, people. Look at that. We're already up to episode 26. And this is HipSlop, Stop the Nonsense. I'll be right back. You tuned into the Network of Awareness. Let's go.
Nothing like stage screen radio.
In the mix. 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 In the
mix. You are now tuned in to the Network of Awareness. To the Network of Awareness.
How you doing? This road is full of pain, but it's in the plan. The Lord knows you struggle and He's got your hand. The world is like a tower that's about to fall. It's hard, but do it all. You can count on.
Thank Lord for a new day. Hands to the east, all praise Yahweh. Yeah, I'm feeling grateful, feeling good about all the choices I've made. Lord knows I ain't perfect. I live in a glass house. I stay humble, never ever try to act out. Never thought I'd make it this far, so I gotta thank God, cause I ain't even tapped out. I made a promise, I gotta keep it. If I don't, I'll feel defeated. I failed before, and I won't repeat it. But ironically, the failure is what I needed, cause it gave me motivation. The memories, I won't erase them. Salvation's close, I can almost taste it. Even though it's tough, I hope I make it. Come on.
This road is full of pain, but it's in the plan. The Lord knows you struggle and He's got your hand. The world is like a tower that's about to fall. It's hard, but do it all. You can count on.
To my brothers and sisters in truth, I pray that you make it I do. Such dark times, everything's gonna blow like a landmine. 10 times worse than you fantasize. Stay awake, bruh. It's all about one word. Bob letters. I always gotta stay up, babe. Keep strong with the breastplate on and let Yahweh pave the way. Cause he chose you. So embrace the pain. You ain't the same. You're like the ace of spades. You're the needle in the hay. You're different. You dedicated your life to walk in the Lord's way. Hey, so keep your head up. When you fall, get up. The Most High's about to hand you a crown. Long suffering, God's coming, a deep in the night. Wow.
This road is full of pain, but it's in the plan. The Lord knows your struggle and He's got your hand. The world is like a tower that's about to fall. It's hard, but through it all, you can count on God.
I built this shit. Me. Brick by brick. And I'll be damned if I let you tear it down just cause you don't like the way another nigga talk.
Low kick.
They know I got the 9 on me.
Yeah, you know I got the 9 on me.
It's time to ride or die, homie.
Yeah, it's time to ride or die, homie.
Man, this how we survive, homie.
Yeah, this how we survive, homie.
That's why I keep the 9 on me.
Yeah, you know I got the 9 on me.
This word is for the wise, either ride or you gon' die. It's the blind leading the blind. We've been fighting for our rights, now we fighting for our life. Still no light I see inside, but I see the light inside and pray I don't go out my mind. I got a 9 in my hand and a couple of bullets. All I need is a reason for me to load it and pull it. There goes one in the shoulder, another one in the leg. Gotta finish the job and put another one in his head. I was told it's him or me, I'ma live to see another day. Killer do the killing, I don't see it any other way. People do the talking, I don't care what motherfuckers say. Keep your social distance or you getting blown the fuck away. No more Mr. Nice Guy, I gotta be the bad boy. I'm on high alert, I got all of you niggas paranoid. I'm way too much at peace for you to ever bother mine. That's the bottom line, cause we all live in them all time. The 9 on me.
Yeah, you know I got the 9 on me.
It's time to ride or die, homie.
Yeah, it's time to ride or die, homie.
Man, this how we survive, homie.
Yeah, this how we survive, homie.
That's why I keep the 9 on me.
Yeah, you know I got the 9 on me. Do or die till I die, homie. I leave a nigga paralyzed, homie. What you know about the 9 on me? With that 45, feel like plies, homie. I look up at the sky like I'm the guy, homie. Got him grinding off the muscle you supply for me. What you know about your bestie trying to ride on you? I ain't never tell, bitch, I define loyal. That type of other shit just make my blood boil you. How you hate me after all the shit I done for you? Now I'm forced to get my head right, but that's kinda hard when you to dodge death twice. Respect life, but this ain't a show, I'm dead nice. I'm the one that could bring us to the next fight. Shed light over everything bad, I'm the one with a gun, it's a tech bite. Blah.
Life is an unpredictable and amazing journey. Our ever-changing conditions within today's society and the constant new trends influencing cultures can become overwhelming, to say the least. But no worries. The Network of Awareness podcast radio show brings peace of mind in these challenging times. Follow us on your favorite podcast listening app and join our community of Network of Awareness at networkofawareness.com. All right, we're back. I noticed that the wardrobe, the apparel, the clothing, the designs, very, and I'm going to be conservative, very flamboyant. Even when it is masculine, it is flamboyant. That's the vibe I got. I got a lot of like, it seems like somehow if you remember, there's a lot of videos that scaled back that talked about they call it the gay mafia, right? In Hollywood. Well, it's really the gay mafia in industry whenever it comes to anything that's related to show time. Anything that's related to cinema, television, commercial. Anything that's related to that industry, right? Which is the music industry, it's Hollywood, they're all tied in together. Well, because that so-called gay mafia that exists has really had a lot of time to invest in not only manipulating us through subliminal messages, amongst other things, and spells and rituals and all that, right? But they've also have gotten us to the point where when you're watching this stuff, right, there's a psychological, what's the word I'm looking for? There's a psychological, put it like this, the best way I can put it, there's some type of psychological warfare within all of this, right? And I've noticed that the people that are running the industry have gotten it to the point where they've gotten government, along with all the manipulation that they do, you know, and all the spiritual stuff that they do, messing with the frequencies. But they've gotten government to push forward bills and laws in order to support a lot of these agendas. And because of that, you have this culmination, this unification of all these different elements within American society that has formed a culture that is very distorted, in which the feminine principle is being operated more by the masculine, which is the man, and the masculine principles are being more operated by the woman. And now you have a big fuck fest. You have this modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, where I noticed that every dude that was so-called hard on the track, if you even want to call it that, but let's just, you know, for conversation's sakes, all the dudes that was hard and was coming with it, they were still feminine in the way they dressed. Every single one of them. There was something real off that didn't really seem masculine. And it's funny how this gay mafia has really conditioned society when it comes to this youth to be more accepting of this. And I know this from personal experience, because there was a time when I was young where I used to want to be all clean cut, and I started waxing my eyebrows and shit, and that was considered metrosexual. But I didn't give a fuck at the time. I thought I was being clean cut, trying to be all fucking pretty and shit. But that was some metrosexual shit. And the reason I bring that up is because, you know, that was back in the late 90s. And that was very short-lived, by the way. That wasn't something I did for a long time. But for the little stint that I had doing it, thinking back on it now, you had a lot of dudes that little by little, it went from wearing baggy jeans or jeans that fit you well, but, you know, wasn't hugging your ass and your nuts, to jeans that was hugging your ass and your nuts, to men wearing pocketbooks and it being acceptable. And of course, the music industry in Hollywood, right? They really engineered that through the fashion industry. But it wasn't that hard because they was already conditioning us through the principles. And also, you can't forget socially how they took the masculine energy out the black household and replaced it with a single mother that was playing both roles. And that's not going to work out even when it does work out. And what I mean by that is even if you do wind up raising your kid and they don't wind up getting into trouble and they make something out of their life, they're still going to be somewhat unbalanced. They're going to have to learn all of that masculine energy from some source on their own when they become a man, because they're going to wind up learning hard lessons. And that's what all of this is culminated to, where you have a lot of feminine principle energy being exercised by men and by boys and vice versa. And I saw it in the music. And I didn't even see any female MCs yet. I saw all male MCs, but I got that vibe where it was just very low level. And because it's so low level, it can easily be manipulated to be accepting of anything. And that's when I started seeing the do without will principle in all of this music. But I'm seeing it with my spiritual eye. I'm seeing it from a perspective of having a relationship to that which matters and being able to see from that perspective. Unfortunately, not a lot of people are going to see wrong in a lot of these videos. They're not going to see that because they're still living in that status quo mentality where this is what's the norm, so this is what is accepted. I'm actually surprised that I didn't see a lot of videos with dudes wearing masks. You know what I'm saying? As far as like the pandemic mask and all that stuff. I'm pretty sure there's stuff that's out there like that. But what I saw was a lot of flamboyant fuckery with no substance to the lyrics. Even some of the lyrics that sounded good in the cadence, as I'm listening to them, they ain't talking about shit. Matter of fact, I don't know if any of y'all do this, but you know how you can get a transcript of the rhyme? There's a lot of different ways to go about it. Actually, I have a now transcript software through a service that I pay for a while now. It's almost since I first started podcasting, and they now transcribe my stuff, so I can edit my own transcriptions very easily with this software addition that I had, this upgrade. If any of y'all get a chance, or if you haven't already, read the rhymes. When you read the rhymes, it's like, what the fuck is this? It begins with nothing and it ends with nothing. And there's nothing in between. It's like when you make a sandwich, you got to put stuff in the sandwich to make it whole, right? Lettuce, tomato, whatever it is you put on there. Turkey, chicken, steak, whatever it is. There's stuff there that has some type of nutritional value. But when these songs are being put together, I didn't see it. And then there was ones that I noticed that had some substance, but it was demonic. And what I realized too, is a lot of the music, even from back in the days, man, it's like you got to listen to the words. A lot of the words sound good and positive, right? But what they're doing is they're giving you a message that is subliminal. It's encrypted messaging. And it's really giving worship to a dark force, to a dark energy. It's really giving energy to Lucifer, Satan, all of that shit, to the Baphomet. And that's why every video I saw, they were throwing up the Baphomet. And there's a lot of dudes that are very much like, I don't know, man. It's almost like clowning, because that's how I looked at it. It was like some low-level clowning has become popular where they actually think they're doing something that is of value. And the only reason it's being perceived as valuable and of something of substance is because the whole entire shit is fucking distorted. The whole entire society and culture. The cultures have been apprehended, people. Aleister Crowley talked about how that in this day and age, that the whole entire culture of the world, let alone especially in this country, would be completely subdued under the universal Luciferian principles of Satan, of Satanism. And that's where we're living right now. And the music industry is a motherfucking great reflection of that. And it's very pathetic. So shout outs to all you brothers and sisters out there, because I know there's many of you that are out there putting out good music, music with great substance, music that can make a change in somebody's life. See, the music that I saw on Revolt, the videos, that music's either going to get me dead or in jail or fucked up. That's not music. That's sorcery. There ain't no music no more. This shit is just straight sorcery with a lot of low-level chakra-inducing beats. That's it. So let's take another intermission. We're going to play some high-frequency music, and we'll be back.
I'm a little concerned right now about your salvation and stuff. How come you have not been baptized?
Because I never got around to it, okay? I don't know why you always have to be judging me, because I only believe in science.
When the light has faded and darkness is abroad, the light is only dim because the darkness teaches us lessons that need to be learned in order for one to move forward. Embrace the darkness, for the darkness is your friend. So there is no end. It's only an illusion to what has been. Follow the light and let the spirit embark on a flight to a destination unknown, but to a place where love is the building blocks that call this place home. We are always accompanied on this journey, but still feel alone. It is never the same journey or experience that is ever shown. It is your imagination that awakens the passion that will weather the storm, because it is the pure compassion in the soul that is vigorous and strong. We're one with eternity, so let's be connected to the positive stream that allows us to fulfill our infinite destiny, most definitely. Let's strive to be the best people we can be with a power that is humanly new to see. So mistaken dismay can lead us astray, so let us stay, for it is our free will that allows us to make a choice. So I choose Yahweh with no delay.
I made mistakes on purpose to divide the word from the worthless. Reveal the facts to be certain. No pain, no gain in the verses. My faith been alive before churches, cause Yah is person on person. So I'm worried about complicated versions, cause the call to divine divergence. I'm still hurting, soul searching, networking and murking. Anytime they can drop my curtain, with a spirit that city suburban. I'm seriously merging and physically working on my purpose to lyrically service the mental malnourished until I perish.
Yahweh's gonna save the awakened, then take him to an ageless haven. Patient, I can't stray away, gotta keep obliterating the pavement. Still remember that day on the phone, Mark, he said, yo, don't you take your foot off the gas. Always something to give y'all praises.
We're the dark oasis, for countless cases, a peak of faithless. I'ma need the patience to beat them chases. We seek his graces for true salvation. We keep on praising, we go on blazing these revelations. Cease to hate, no altercations. Good vibrations, we back to basics to build foundations. Now defeated Satan. I done made mistakes on purpose to divide the word from the worthless. Reveal the facts to be certain. No pain, no gain in the verses. My faith been alive before churches, cause Yah is person on person. So I'm worried about complicated versions, cause the call to divine divergence. I'm still hurting, soul searching, networking and murking. Anytime to drop my curtain with a spirit that city suburban. I'm seriously merging and physically working on my purpose to lyrically service the mental malnourished until I perish. People pursuing acts of violence, stir persistent act of defiance, freely forming a righteous alliance, truly against the science appliance. On a mission with wisdom and guidance, steady defeating the ignorant science, sealing convicted and non-compliant. Spiritual wars that move in
Let's
silence.
talk about what matters. Drop the vanity. Folks out here losing their sanity. Kids popping off, lost in fantasies. People grieving over loss of family. The evil that be with the power, turning the people with credence to cowards, seeking to seize believers with vows. Man, even Stevie can see that it's foul.
I done made mistakes on purpose to divide the worth from the worthless. Reveal the facts to be certain. No pain, no gain in the verses. My faith been alive before churches, cause Yah is person on person. So I'm worried about complicated versions, cause the call to divine divergence. I'm still hurting, so searching, then working and murking. Anytime to drop my curtain with a spirit that city suburban. I'm seriously merging and physically working on my purpose to lyrically service the mental malnourished until I perish.
Depression gone with every song. Music led by another echelon.
To get you strong, keep pressing on, long after we dead and gone.
From dusk till dawn, we're righteously armed with spiritual lessons from Yah.
We where we belong, we keeping on. The righteous with third is Zion.
Records embellished with heavenly eloquence.
Elohim's presence presently evident.
Intricate elements, infinite intelligence.
Spiritual specimens lyrically resonant.
The gift was inheritance, smaller percentages.
Carefully measured and meant to be shared.
With the message projected, cemented, embedded.
The sensible question is, what will you get from it? I made mistakes on purpose to divide the worth from the worthless. Reveal the facts to be certain. No pain, no gain in the verses. My faith been alive before churches, cause Yah is person on person. So I'm worried about complicated versions, cause the call to divine divergence. I'm still hurting, so searching, then working and murking. Anytime to drop my curtain with a spirit that city suburban. I'm seriously merging and physically working on my purpose to lyrically service the mental malnourished until I perish.
Please just tell me what's happening to me in plain English without the mumbo jumbo.
Tuned in to the network of awareness.
In the mix. In the mix. In the mix. In the mix. In the
this shit. Me. Brick by brick. And I'll be damned if I let you tear it down just cause you don't like the way another nigga talk.
Yeah.
In the mix. 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 In the mix.
Yeah, yeah. Make sure every day you do your own research, you seek out the truth, you stand in your truth no matter what. Yeah. Shalom. Let's get it. Use your own mind, be your own man. Use your third eye, gotta take a stand. Always walk by faith, fuck man what they say. Just always be you. Keep on seeking. I had no choice, I had to make it. All them chances I kept taking on myself. All within, hide yourself, I channel him. Yahweh guiding me, how can I lose these niggas fools? Taking COVID jabs, I see right past the hokey doke. This shit the joke, just keep your third eye woke. Cause they will try to sleep you, but my vibration rising higher. Gone, I'm gliding, wings are spreading. Now I'm flying, government spying. They trying to kill you off, one by one. Agenda 21, 22, they keep hiding the truth. Open up your eyes, stand in your truth. Open up your eyes, keep on being you. Open up your eyes, stand in your truth. Open up your eyes, just keep on being you. Use your own mind, be your own man. Use your third eye, gotta take a stand. Always walk by faith, fuck man what they say. Just always be you. Keep on seeking, truly growing, awaken, vibration raising. I'm flowing toxic energy, I'm shedding, seeing everything with my third eye. You can't relate if you sleep, you a sheep. You can't see what's going on in front of you. You hypnotized by the TV. This shit getting crazy, pushing agendas. The truth is constantly hitting you, forbidden from waking up anybody. When you do, they silence it. Only way to get ahead is sell your soul. Once you jump down the rabbit hole, can't turn back. Open up your eyes, stand in your truth. Open up your eyes, keep on being you. Open up your eyes, stand in your truth. Open up your eyes, just keep on being you. Use your own mind, be your own man. Use your third eye, gotta take a stand. Always walk by faith, fuck man what they say. Just always be you, keep on seeking truth. Use your own mind, be your own man. Use your third eye, gotta take a stand. Always walk by faith, fuck man what they say. Just always be you, keep on seeking truth.
In the mix. In the mix. In the mix. In the mix.
You see something? Now you see now. Now you see now. You done fucked up. You done fucked up. I see you. I see you. I see you.
Peace and forever favors on Most High Mondays. Shout outs to all the brothers and sisters around the world. Shout outs to all the brothers and sisters in the chat room. I see y'all. Want to give a salute to my queen letter. Shout outs to Germany, my brother Kent. Doing his crump dancing. Shout out to brother Kent. If you haven't seen it already, my brother Kent can dance his ass off, man. Facts. Shout outs Mauricio. I see you, sister Danita. Shout outs brother Levi. I see you, Mr. Webb. Alkaline J in the house. Welcome to Most High Mondays, people. If you don't get to tune in to the live broadcast, you can always download the shows on any listening device around the world. But I prefer that you download at networkofawareness.com. Shout out to Brother Cook. keep this good spiritual music, this right music, this high vibration music going. And who better than to keep it on a high frequency than my brother Yazan? Let's go.
I built this shit. Me. Brick by brick. And I'll be damned if I let you tear it down just cause you don't like the way another nigga talk.
In the mix. 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 In the mix.
Yo, let me tell you how the story go. Swear to God, man, it be so historical. Seen the aura in the auricle. She was feeling on my stomach, talking about I'm the one with the abnormal flow. What's the sign in your horoscope? A Virgo with extra turbo on fire. Watch me inferno, get burned, ho. Motherfucker nigga wanna come and get in my business. And when it's me chillin' on the beach like Venice or Daytona, they go cray cause my skin so Crayola. Flow so low like Noah's Ark. Never in the back like Rosa Parks. Showing this love with a broken heart. I know deep down you know it's art. Don't give a damn, we just damage. Build it up, then enhance it. Hop in the van, then we vanish. Watch a UFO landing. When I hop in that, hope my knob is gon' fit. The way I play is so demanding. Swing through your Milky Way. Hopscotch on your planet. Don't give a damn, we just damage. Build it up, then enhance it. Hop in the van, then we vanish. Watch a UFO landing. When I hop in that, hope my knob is gon' fit. The way I play is so demanding. Swing through your Milky Way. Hopscotch on your planet. Slow it down for my people. Are you good or you evil? Are you wolf or you sheeple? Or the farmer looking through the peephole? Too shallow? Nah, that was deep, bro. Well, then get it started. I be eating, I be starving. The way I grind be so gnarly. I can hear these haters talking. I don't have to beg your pardon. Wicked images I bury it. Same Michael on a chariot. Rough life, better cherish it. Lack the knowledge and you perishing. Keep it real with your tribe. Everywhere I go, we survive. Like the dog star, I'm serious. Mother Nature on a period. I see the sun getting brighter. Super Saiyan through your hydro collider. But what is your concern with Surdo? But you never felt this from a Virgo. On fires, Dante's Inferno. She want me to put my worm in a wormhole. This cute chick from Pleiades. She look like Sade from the 80s. In her galaxy, I get so groovy. Why your universe feel like a movie? She want me to fill up on her. Don't have to take my shot, she gripping the toolie. Don't give a damn, we just damage. Build it up, then enhance it. Hop in the van, then we vanish. Watch a UFO landing. When I hop in that, hope my knob is gon' fit. The way I play is so demanding. Swing through your Milky Way. Hopscotch on your planet. Don't give a damn, we just damage. Build it up, then enhance it. Hop in the van, then we vanish. Watch a UFO landing. When I hop in that, hope my knob is gon' fit. The way I play is so demanding. Swing through your Milky Way. Hopscotch on your planet. Planet, 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 planet.
To the network of awareness.
In the mix. 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 In the mix.
All right, we are back, brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode 26. This is HipSlop. Instead of hip hop, I call it HipSlop. Stop the nonsense. Because that's what it is, nonsense. You got to do better than that, man. It's like I always say, they're supposed to go to college once they left the new school. You know what I mean? Once they graduated from the new school, it's to take it to the next level. Take it to a higher degree of education. but they took it back to romper room. They took it back to pre-K. Or should I say pre-gay? Oh, man. But it's the sign of the times. That's what I say. It's the sign of the times. Before I forget, people, today's a great day. I know that many of you know that today's a holiday. They're celebrating the Juneteenth holiday, which supposedly the emancipation of slavery completely and all that bullshit that never really happened. But not only today, but the rest of this week is going to be a good week for the Network of Awareness. I'm going to have a lot of good shows. I'm going to have a lot of shows that are going to be very exciting, very happy, joy beats. Or should I say shows? I'm saying beats. The reason I'm saying beats, people, I'm very tired. So please excuse me. But there's new music that's coming out this Friday. And I'm really pumped up about it because I'm telling y'all, if you want to hear some fire music from a lot of different artists, then you want to listen in this Friday because I'm going to pull out or play a couple of bangers that's going to be like, whoa. And it's just the beginning of a line of music that's going to be put out consistently within the next, starting on Friday, you'll see a series of songs being put out on this network for the next 6 weeks. But it starts on Friday. So if you want to tune in on Friday, you're going to hear some fire music. Shit you never heard before. It's debuting around the world on Friday. It's going to be crazy. Also, I got my TV network that's going to start in July now. I'm pushing for July because I'm restructuring everything through a different software system. So that's going to take me some time. But hey, I'm not in a rush. I'm going to do it the right way, people, because at the end of the day, I got to do this the right way. There's no other choice. Also, this week's going to be great because I'm going to be broadcasting on in undisclosed locations. So I'm going to be out of the state. I'm going to be traveling. So I'm going to take the show on the road. Literally, I'm going to take the show on the road. So I'm going to be doing shows from different places that I'm traveling to. All right. So you're going to get little segments. Sometimes I might even do a recording off my iPad or off my my cell phone if I have a good connection while I'm traveling. Because I am going to be taking the airlines, right? So say a prayer for your brother. Hopefully I don't beat up any stewardess or gay ass, whatever you call them, stewardess or stewards. Or hopefully I don't just get into some bullshit. And hopefully I don't have to be sitting next to a lot of science appliance cadets. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be towards the end of the week when I play this new music. Because when I do play the new music, it'll be from an undisclosed location, which I will reveal to you when I get there, when I'm traveling. Also, on Wednesday, I am going to be hopefully featuring a very special guest. Some of you even know this guest. And they're going to be promoting their business and, the things that they do. So we're going to do an in-depth interview with this person. And hopefully everything works out and we can get them on the show. So look out for that on Wednesday, which will be Wisdom Wednesdays. And the show for Wisdom Wednesdays, I'll just let you know in advance because, a lot of my titles I write in advance anyway. The title of the show is going to be Committed to Your Calling. So definitely don't miss out on that. That's going to be a really, really good episode. And it's going to be episode 28. And then 29 and 30 will be in other places. The good thing is when I bring my MacBook Pro, I can pretty much broadcast from anywhere as long as I have a strong Wi-Fi connection, which I believe I will in where I'm going, where I'm staying. I'm staying in an apartment. So the apartment, I'm sure, has the Wi-Fi and all that, from what I know. And I'm going to be broadcasting out of an apartment building. So it's going to be fun. So it's not going to be in my studio where, like right now, the way you hear my voice, I'm going to try to get it to sound like this as much as possible. But unfortunately, because I'm going to be in a room, it's not going to have the same acoustics. But what it will have is no background noise. Because, you know, I'm really big on that. That's just me. That's my OCD or whatever you call it. I don't like hearing any air, any white noise, any sounds in the background. Even when I drink my water, I don't even like you guys hearing that. But that's just me. So I'm going to make sure that whatever background noise is there, I'm going to cancel it out so you can hear me just like you hear me in the studio. But it's not going to be to that quality, but I'm going to try to get it as close as possible, right, brothers and sisters? Because I really pride myself on high quality broadcasting when it comes to audio. You can ask Letta about that. I'm very OCD on that, but that's just the way I am. What other updates I gotta give? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for now. You know what I'm saying? Besides just the high level of content, but a lot of this music, brothers and sisters, I'm telling you, this coming out, especially from people like Take One with his Team Yahweh project that I'm featuring on and all that. I'm telling you, people, like, there's a lot of good. And then I heard Yash is coming out with releasing some of the music he's already had and having it available to everybody. So that's going to be pretty cool. It's interesting how a lot of people are putting out music. Brother Oxacad is doing a couple of songs with me as well. And we got Brother Julius that's going to be on a song with us too that I'm going to be finishing putting together and then working with Take One to do the final editing and mixing down of that song. It's going to be really good. We got a song, and I got a couple with Oxacad. I got a couple of solos coming out too. I got one called Thank the Most High for All His Love. That's going to be a really good song. And I got another song coming out, which Brother Kent hopefully will be on. Brother Kent, I need you. But yeah, I got a song coming out with called Pretenders that Brother Kent's going to be on. He's a busy dude. That's why it's been hard to complete the song. But once I get Brother Kent on the hook, it's a wrap, people. You got a song called, and it's going to be more of a spoken word piece. So a lot to get excited about musically and also content-wise, because now that I'm starting the TV channel, I'll be able to give more in-depth description to my dialogue that I have on this show. So you'll be getting the network of awareness visually, which I think will be a good thing. And it's something that I'm going to evolve in because something a friend of mine told me a while back. He was just like, with the type of content that you do, it needs to have imagery. He's like, it's good to have audio, but the imagery is really going to seal the deal in letting people know the magnitude of what you're capable of. And I think he's right now. I didn't really want to accept that, but looking at the way the world is transforming and has transformed into this digital era of culture, of doing things, visual imagery is kind of like, it's the main thing now, man. It's taken over. It's the reason why so many people in the world today have such short attention spans, because most of what's been given to them when it comes to these industries like Hollywood has been so visual that thinking and imagination has been put on the back burner. And that's why I still appreciate radio, because I feel like with the podcasting industry and radio, to me, it's the same shit. But I feel like there's still substance in this, and it's $1 billion industry right now. So I'm not going nowhere, because this is just one facet of many that is establishing my career as an independent entrepreneur. And I'm very grateful to the Most High for that, because this is something I always wanted to do since I was a kid. So I'm getting to do what I wanted to do at 7, 8, 9 years old when I used to do mock radio shows. And I got to do it in 2006 with the Rockland Report on radio and on streaming. And I'm going to tell you something, that all of that I went through at that time, and being an executive producer of a show plus a radio personality, it really was the precursor to everything that you brothers and sisters are experiencing right now. So I'm just so grateful to the Most High for leading me into this craft with a lot of knowledge and experience before I actually decided to do it all by myself. Yeah, Mr. Webb, I'm looking at your posts. Yes, trust me. I haven't been on an airplane in quite some time. I was supposed to go to Texas 2 years ago, right when the pandemic hit, so I never got to go. It was for a business trip. And then after that, I was like, I'm not going on an airplane for nothing. And plus, you really couldn't in the stuff that I was doing. That's around the time that I resigned and retired from insurance, because I was going to go to an insurance convention in April. But because that was all being shut down, I kind of just slowly dismissed myself. It wasn't an immediate resignation or anything. It was more subtle. It was a gradual process. And ever since then, I've talked a lot about the violence and the incidences that have happened in the airport. But one thing I know, people, and I'm not saying that I'm, invincible, because obviously I'm not, I'm a man, you know what I'm saying? But there's times where I feel untouchable. I feel like there's a force field around me where the Most High is just protecting me. So whenever there is some type of negative energy, the Most High has a way of blocking it. And he does it in so many different ways. I'm telling you, it's been the story of my life for a long time now, especially as a grown-ass man. The Most High has definitely just helped me in so many different ways. So I truly believe that this flight that I'm taking, which is a direct flight, is going to be a good one, and it's going to be a peaceful one. And I'm glad that I'm going to be now taking this out of state, because many of you that have been long-term listeners, and there's a lot of long-term listeners that are not in this chat room. A lot of them don't go into the chat room, but they've been downloading the show since June and July and August of 2020. So a lot of you people that have been listening for that time frame know that I've done shows on the road, but always within the same state. Because I remember I did a show in Gainesville when I traveled to Gainesville, when I used to go out there, once or twice a month. And that was like close to a 3-hour trip. I think I did a show for y'all in Jacksonville, if I'm correct. Maybe not. I did a couple of shows throughout the state of Florida. This will be the first time that I do a show outside the United States. I mean, outside the state of Florida. So I'm very excited about that. And eventually, I hope I do get to do a show outside the United States for good. For real. Yes. Y'all willing, for sure. Like, you got to make that happen. Because I want to be here for some of the shit show, but I don't want to be here for all of the shit show. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm coming to right now. I know there's better places, but ultimately the best place is going to be out of this freaking realm when I leave this place. That's going to be the best transition for me. I'm just looking at some of the posts. I know some people send me messages, so I'm trying to catch up to it. All right, Brother Ken said he plans to work with the music. Hasn't forgotten. FaceTime again. We'll let you know. Okay, good, brother. Let's do that. Because just need you to do the hook, and I'll take care of the rest. Thank you, Brother Webb. Appreciate it. A friend of mine said that I should write a song for every title I have. That's a big project. I told him I'd think about it. So yeah, people. Today's show is I'm not gonna do my normal 2-hour show. I think I got the point across on what I wanted to talk about. I could get deeper into it, but that's when we start talking about the Luciferian principles that these artists and what is the nucleus and the theme of the music industry to the core of it. But we don't have to go there, right? Because we already know what that is. But I just felt like it was a good show to talk about this music industry. Tomorrow we'll dig into the smoke and mirrors media. I'll do a segment on that because obviously there's been another shooting, right? So that's 2 more shootings. This time a cop got shot. And the only reason I know this is because my lady that's in the chat room told me, right? So letter broke down to me that there was another shooting. So I'm going to check into that. We're going to talk about some of that tomorrow, amongst other things. Tomorrow, I believe tomorrow's show is going to be about spiritual currency. But you know, you'll find out when I put on the show, because I might make it another theme for tomorrow's show. But brothers and sisters, be very careful in the music you listen to. I would strongly suggest to not listen to radio unless it's some type of satellite or Siri radio where you know the type of music that's being played, because there are radio shows that play old school stuff that you would like to listen to on a regular basis. But I would definitely suggest to not listen to any of the music of today's world, because it is very low level energy. It's just very evil. There's a essence to it that's lacking in anything that's meaningful. Anything that's thought-provoking. So save yourself the time and don't fill your ears, which is really your spirit. Don't fill your body up with that energy, because there's a lot of better things to do than to listen to this shit that's on Revolt and MTV and all this shit. It's garbage. So what I call the HipSlop. It's slop. It's fucking shit you feed to the pigs. That's the only worth that it has. You know what I mean? I think that's pig nutrition. And that's what they call what they feed the pigs, right? When they put that, whatever they call that trough or whatever, it's all full of slop. And it's just all that nasty shit mixed together, all the fucking shit people don't want in liquid and fucking cookie shit. That's what this fucking music is, people. Let the pigs eat off that shit. You know what I mean? It ain't for us. So, brothers and sisters, I hope that this show gave you some great substance to think about and talk about tonight and for the rest of the week. Share it with your friends, families, those that have an ear to listen. And, you know, when you live in the present, brothers and sisters, there's always an opportunity for a new beginning. And like I always say, I'm going to play this piano beat. Don't look for the light at the end of the tunnel, brothers and sisters. Because the light is and always will be within you. So light up the tunnel and find your way through the darkness. This is all the information that's from the Network of Awareness saying peace, love, light, and barakatah, and forever favors. Hopefully see y'all tomorrow, and happy Most High Monday, brothers and sisters.
In the mix. 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 In the mix.
Listening to that, for one chance, just one chance, to come back here and tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never